Every day we wake up, we need to understand we're waking up into a battle zone.
At his church in Jacksonville, Florida, Senior Pastor George Davis is praying for higher vaccination rates among his church members. Over a recent 10-day period, he says otherwise healthy members of his church died from COVID. None of them were vaccinated.
We had experienced 6 people as of last week within a 10-day stretch that had passed away from COVID. 4 were under the age of 35, and then actually on yesterday we had a 7th person who passed away. These are all people that we care about, love dearly. One young man, I've known him since he was a toddler, so it was really difficult. A young man in the prime of his life who still had plans to be married and live out a full life.
What frustrates Pastor Davis the most is all the misinformation about vaccines that's out there, that many in his congregation believe.
When you get injected, the government is putting a tracking device inside of you, and they're watching your every move, and that people are dying at record numbers, and it's just not being reported. I literally had somebody here recently tell me that there are as many people in the hospitals here in Jacksonville that are struggling in the ICU units who are vaccinated as there are those that are unvaccinated.
A CNN analysis of CDC data suggests more than 99.99% of those who are fully vaccinated are avoiding hospitalization and death. Pastor Davis and his wife are vaccinated, as well as their 3 children. And he's delivered a strong pro-vaccine message from the pulpit.
You're able to be vaccinated if you so choose to.
I don't believe that doctors and scientists, no matter how much schooling they've gone to, I don't believe that they can come up with cures and fixes for the body without a divine presence, God Almighty, giving them that wisdom and giving them that insight to figure it out.
So far, Impact Church has held 2 vaccination drives, the most recent one this past Sunday at church, making it easier for those who came to pray to get vaccinated too. Andrea and Rodney got vaccinated early on, though Andrea was hesitant at first.
And I would say, do it so that you don't have to be in the hospital. Do it so that no one has to hear you struggling to breathe on your last days. Do it so that nobody is having to say this was preventable when something happens.
And losing members of their congregation was a wake-up call.
These aren't people that you just go to church with on Sunday. These are people we do life with, people that we had seen 2 weeks ago at a gathering. It's much more than losing a church member. It is truly losing family.
Sheena and Reggie Smith just got vaccinated about a week ago. Reggie waited because he felt the vaccine was rolled out too quickly, even though it was years in the making. But now he's relieved.
Well, just getting that extra buffer for whatever what could possibly attack your body, you have something there to help fight it off as well.
Just days after they were vaccinated, their good friend and fellow church member died of COVID.
It's very hard. It's very hard. I'm sorry. It's very hard losing someone that close to you and seeing life cut short. Being in your 30s and seeing it cut short. Nobody wants to experience that. Nobody wants to see that.
Brandy, do they know where those church members got COVID? Was it at the church?
Anderson, they don't believe it was at the church. The pastor says he believes it was outside the church somewhere, maybe at a birthday party or some type of other large gathering. And as you know now, the vaccines aren't required at the church, but masks are mandated inside the church, and the pastor does believe that that is helping to stop the spread within the church there. The good news here also is that they've done 2 of those vaccine drives that I mentioned, and among those now they have about 1,000 people who have been vaccinated, so the numbers are going up, so that's the good news. But Anderson, it is still so remarkable that you look at so many of these members of this church, and they've now seen 7 of their fellow churchgoers die from COVID, and they're still against getting vaccinated. They go there and they pray with them and they knew them, and they still are not going to get the vaccine, whether it's because of all the misinformation that they're reading out there or for other reasons, Anderson.